Fair Use Act Disclaimer.
Yeah, it's Moana, baby.
I believe that you already have an idea about the muscles, origin and insertions, the nerves, actions, and other fun facts about the anterior compartment of the thigh from our previous episode. So, to continue the thigh region, let us now proceed to the medial compartment of the thigh, which comprises our hip adductors. Let's begin! Hello Kapiti! Welcome back to our Moina series. My name is Shara Tubig and welcome to another episode of Hip Hip Hooray! Today we are going to talk about the muscles, origin, insertion, and action of the medial compartment of the thigh or our hip adductors. Let's start! Let us begin the medial compartment with the gracilis. The gracilis is also part of the muscle group pes anserin together with sartorius and semitendinosus. It originates at the inferior ramus of the pubis and ramus of ischium, and it is inserted down below to the upper part of the shaft of tibia on the medial surface. Together with the other muscles in medial compartment of the thigh, it is innervated by the obturator nerve. It can adduct thigh at hip joint like this. This one's abduct, adduct, and flex the leg at knee joint. Extend, flex. Flex. Now, going to the main adductors of the thigh, we have the adductor longus, adductor brevis, and the adductor magnus. These adductors has the common insertion which is in the linea aspera or the posterior surface of the shaft of the femur. Common innervation by the obturator nerve and has the common action to adduct thigh at hip joint and assist in lateral rotation. Once again, adduct thigh, the leg goes in the midline, and lateral rotation. Do not be confused, even if the leg goes medially, the hip goes laterally. Now, we can just focus on their origins. First off, the adductor longus. This originates on the body of the pubis, medial to the pubic tubercle. Next is the adductor brevis. Its origin is at the inferior ramus of the pubis. And lastly, the adductor magnus, which has two portions, the adductor and hamstring portion. Therefore, it also has two origins, insertions, as well as the actions. First, let us discuss the adductor portion. Its origin is at the inferior ramus of the pubis and ramus of the ischium. On the other hand, the hamstring portion originates at the ischial tuberosity. They are both inserted to the posterior shaft and adductor tubercle of the femur. The adductor portion is innervated by the posterior branch of the obturator nerve, while the hamstring portion is innervated by the tibial portion of the sciatic nerve. In general, this muscle, the adductor magnus, can adduct thigh at hip joint, adduct like this, and assist in lateral rotation like this. However, the hamstring portion can also extend thigh at hip joint. This is extension of the thigh at hip joint. For the last part of the medial compartment of the thigh, we have the obturator externus, which originates from the outer surface of the obturator membrane and the pubic and ischial rami. It is inserted to the medial greater trochanter of the femur. As mentioned, since it is in the medial compartment, it is also innervated by the obturator nerve. This muscle laterally rotates thigh at the hip joint. This is lateral rotation of thigh at the hip joint. And that's it! For our tips, remember to recognize the muscles that have the same locations, innervations, and actions. Look at diagrams and pictures and might as well perform the actions yourself so that you won't be confused. We hope that you learned a lot about our hip adductors today. We are rooting for you, Kapiti, and see you next time. Bye!
Go in and out of my head. She came up to me and said it. Let's just be friends. It was just a crush. It wasn't love. I sat alone on the bus, and I know what the reason was. It was over soon as I got a bad haircut. Over soon as I got a bad haircut.